Mike,
Yeah.
I pushed the wrong button.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to go live, and I can't. It won't let me go live now.
What?
Hold on.
Oops.
We might be live, so hold on.
We are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are, sir.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So today is Monday, January 11th. I got Mike. We got Ryan Bell coming in. Mike, how we doing?
Good, Bobby. How are you doing today? Another Monday. Start a new, another week in the new year. Hope things are going great for everybody. It's been rough through 2020, and now we're in 21, and hopefully things will get further and further as we go along. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see Ryan. We had him in the booth. We did a great job. I enjoyed having him in there. He was, fun to be with, and now we get to actually sit down and talk with him for a few minutes and find out exactly what he's all about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you do the development points. Well,
Yep.
Actually, never mind. Ryan's already jumping in, so
All right, awesome.
we're gonna bring him in.
Perfect.
I'm trying to send out invites.
Hey, bud.
Aha, there you go, Ryan. We got you.
Sorry, man. I was coming as quick as I could.
Oh, no worries.
You're good.
Perfect.
I'm still trying to send out invites.
Outstanding.
I almost sent one to you on accident.
That would have been double
on the car.
That would have been cool. Oh, hey, now I can see both of you. Perfect.
Yes. All right. So, everybody, this is Ryan Bell.
Hello, everyone.
We got Mike here. So, Ryan, tell us a little bit about what you guys, what you did last year with MBM, and what you're doing, obviously, with Prospect now.
So basically, last year I was crew chiefing at MBM. I was Chad Fincham's crew chief through most of the year. Did the road courses with Stephen Light, which was pretty cool. I love Chad and Stephen both. It was neat to get to work with a couple different guys throughout the year. And then towards the end of the season, I was crew chief in Chad's Cup stuff there. The last few races we ran with MBM. So had been with them for a couple of years. Did Joey Gase, Timmy Hill, was kind of the floating crew chief the year before. But love it over there. Love those guys, but had a vision and kind of had something I wanted to try and started this Prospect Motorsports deal, which we ran our first race last night in Dillon, South Carolina, the New Year's Bash. I know why they call it the New Year's Bash now, because I don't think anyone finished any races there. But had a really good car. Wayne Goss drove the heck out of it. And, man, we're just kind of waiting. We had a tire come apart in qualifying on Saturday night and ended up qualifying mid-pack with the tire coming apart. So I was pretty impressed with that. But ended up just kind of knew we were in trouble, knew we had to really, really be careful coming through the field. Sadly, I somehow have deemed myself the spotter of Prospect Motorsports as well. And I do mostly just to help
double duty
driver coach my guys. But it was nerve-wracking. And sadly, some guys thought 4 wide off of turn 4 on lap 3 would win the race. And it didn't. And we had nowhere to go when they got done wrecking each other and destroyed a pretty good race car. But it's all part of the game.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Bobby, sorry.
No, I was going to say, for the people that are here that don't know, you guys came on board this year, 2021, with Prospect Motorsports and Pro kind of partnering up. You want to give everybody kind of the little rundown on that? Because I haven't said much about it to our guys, but obviously we've been advertising like crazy.
So basically what we've done is Prospect's really, really, really excited to be with you guys and be partners in this deal. And throughout the year, obviously you're going to see us sponsoring some of the races, doing different things, but we're also going to throw in some extra incentive programs. Me, Bobby, and Mike at some point are going to sit down and come up with some halfway bonuses, some, whatever we think, whatever these guys, they kind of run the show and they know They know what the fans love and what's good for the racing. So maybe some stage win bonuses, something. But we're going to do a bunch of different incentives throughout the year and really up the ante for everybody and let everyone keep doing what they're doing, winning these races and having some great races, man. I was in the booth with you guys the other night, and it was for one of the development races, man. It was really fun to watch, and obviously I've watched several races since then. But man, if we can do something financially to up that ante a little bit, I think it'll be fun for everybody. Plus,
Yeah.
get
I'm
everyone
telling you, with those incentives that are given to the drivers and stuff like that, with the hard work that with you guys participating like that, I mean, it's changed the dynamic of the racing. It's become more intense. It's actually become cleaner in some ways.
Yep.
Because they're working together. They know that, okay, listen, we just can't do it this way. We know what's at stake. We want to be there. We want to do it, and we want to do it the right way. And that it's definitely changed the dynamic of what's been going on with the racing, and it's been great racing for almost 6 weeks now.
That's awesome. And that's what I like to see is some good old hard racing. And I mean, sometimes hard racing ends in bad things like we saw in the chicane at Charlotte the other day, but that's part of the game. And it's fun. I really enjoy being part of that.
Well, absolutely. And obviously you've tuned into these shows with us, so you know that we're gonna throw some monkey questions out there here and there, and Mike's gonna throw out some other stuff. But so far, since you have joined us and have partnered up, what have you seen? What have you liked about our league?
Man, what I really like about it is the competition and the professionalism of everybody. I like seeing what you and Mike have done developing these drivers. Kind of got to hear some behind the scenes stuff when I was in the booth the other night, and you guys kind of coaching the drivers, post race. Love the way you guys market the whole thing. Love how long it's been going on and the group of people that you guys have brought together that have made this what it is, today. And just love to see the love of the small teams, the love of everyone's not out there trying to be Kevin Harvick. Everyone's not out there running the same car. It's awesome. It's been fun. And man, listen to you guys call the races in the booth. The way you've done that, it adds an intensity to the racing that you can't get anywhere else.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And obviously, I didn't introduce it, but Mike, we can make the announcement now since we didn't do it last week. The Pro Week in Review is sponsored by the Lineup Barbershop out of Toledo, Ohio.
Yes, that's a local company, and it's great that they've decided to join us. That's one thing about us that we're not out for the big great, wonderful. We appreciate all the the big companies, but the smaller ones, the smaller businesses that suffer, the smaller businesses that have hard times, they deserve their credit too, because they work hard just as much as the rest of them do.
Right.
Yeah. Very much so.
So Ryan, can you tell us like the life of a crew chief over at MBM, like how it was, how being in NASCAR was?
Man, it's an awesome deal. To be a part of the smaller teams has always been something I've loved. I was with JD Motorsports for well over a decade before I was with Carl Long, and the small teams bring such more of a dynamic because you're not just going to work, filling in a hole, leaving. I kind of say this and it makes some people mad, but it's the truth. I don't care who you are. If you go work for Joe Gibbs tomorrow, when you leave, they're not going to miss a beat. Nothing's going to change. You're just filling a hole. That's not taking anything away from those guys. Everyone over there is incredibly talented and way, way, way smarter than I'll probably ever be. But being with guys like Carl, when you go in every day, we changed so much of the dynamic there. So many, we're building a program, and I love being part of that. So yeah, your days aren't 8 to 5 like some of the big teams, but it's long days, long nights. The travel is different from time to time. Sometimes you're flying private flights, day in or in and out the day of the race. And some days or some weeks you're driving across the country. But I've always loved the small team dynamic. I've loved the camaraderie. It requires so much more teamwork and people to be on the same page. And getting to work with guys like Clinton Cram, Patrick McGee, Doug Rickert, Brian Keselowski when he was there. There's such a list of them, and that's just awesome for a guy like me. And I've always enjoyed it, but it's a lot of your brain gets a lot of extra work because we're not blessed with some of the easy machines and the engineering stuff that they've got
Right.
bigger teams. So it's definitely a struggle, but man, it's always been fun.
So you would almost say, Ryan, I mean, you wear multiple hats
Yes.
with what you're doing. I mean, you're not just a crew chief, you're a spotter, you're a team player. You'll do whatever it takes to make basically that team successful and do what needs to be done. I mean, that's what I'm getting just to being that, in that position.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. So the biggest thing is, like I always said, the worst thing you can say on a small team is that's not my job. And that goes from top to bottom. I've never been a sit back and watch crew chief. I've always built my cars, always been hands-on, clean bathrooms, sweep floors, whatever it takes, wash cars. That's the biggest thing. Like, people laugh, or people don't laugh. People get mad when you say, hey man, grab a rag. When they say, hey, what can I do? Grab a rag and clean that car. Let me tell you, having a clean race car is so important in so many different ways. Because A, the sport's all about perception these days. B, you find 90% of the issues that are going to sneak up and end your race when you're cleaning a car, because you're down, you're in the cracks, you're in the crevices, you're looking at things that you're not usually looking at on an everyday basis. So even doing stuff like that as a crew chief is just something that you're not going to find many places. But the guys at MBM, Johnny Davis, the BJ McLeods, even some of the cup teams like the Rick Wares, stuff like that, the crew chiefs are going to be almost the most hands-on guy in the shop, as where a lot of teams they're the least hands-on guy.
Sometimes being that hands-on, you got to admit to, Ryan, sometimes being that hands-on kind of guy is sets that tone with everybody else that you're working with.
Yes,
I noticed that.
That's something I've always been big on, is I try to lead by example. I don't ever want to tell someone to do something I wouldn't do. And there's a lot of things I don't like doing. I'm not going to lie, but you just got to man up and do it. And you got to, and when it comes down to it, that's how you get better, and that's how you improve. And it's a tough sled, but just like this deal at Prospect with this new business endeavor I'm on, my partner Derek Peebles and me are basically right now starting off. And I don't want to say this wrong, because we have so many amazing people that have come on and are helping us and doing different things. But at the end of the day, just like today, I was PR guy, marketing guy, I was the secretary, I was the accountant. I'm getting ready to be tomorrow, I'm going to be putting the car back together. It's with the help of other people, obviously, but it's I'm glad that I was brought up and done the way I did, because it allows me to do what I'm doing with this team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And obviously, going from NASCAR to the late models, totally different.
Oh yeah, no, it's a whole different world. It's at the end of the day, I always have a saying that I learned from someone I looked up to for many, many years. He'd always say, buddy, it's just a damn dull race car. And at the end of the day, it's just a damn dull race car, but it's a whole different animal. The racing styles is crazy. I've spotted many a NASCAR affiliated races, truck, Xfinity, stuff like that. It's so much easier because you pretty much have an idea what the guys on the track are going to do. You can kind of judge where they're going to go. With this deal, man, you can't. Them guys are so unpredictable all over the place. I mean, we got guys on Saturday. There was guys wrecking coming off a pit road. There were guys wrecking that had been riding around on the bottom slow for 5 laps. And it's just crazy.
Would that be because of impatience, or would that just because of what, or is it just because of? I mean, I know what late model is, and I know how aggressive and stuff late model really can be, because it is just, those tracks aren't, they're big, they're kind of, they're not big, but they're, would it be that why that would be happening, or what would you think?
So a lot of it came down to just the fact of, so the Challenger Series, you race on scuffed tires that you buy when you get to the racetrack, and it's a luck of the draw. And some of these tires are pretty bad, let me tell you. But it was the mix of the really bad tires and just being so cold this weekend.
Yeah.
These guys weren't patient enough. They were trying to just get out and hustle it. They wouldn't take the time, get some heat in the tires, get some heat in the car. And then, just to be honest, it's what the problem with short track racing is in America right now. There's no guidelines. There's no book that says, hey, this is how you need to do this. And so many people are trying to do it on their own. And that's awesome. Like, I love it. That's what the racer and all of us want to do. But man, it's
Tough.
It's a very unsafe program.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, I deal with it up. I mean, in the Northeast. I mean, with their the GPSS series and their ACT Canadian Tour series. I mean, those are a little more kind of stabilized because of what they give for the rules. But I mean, if you start really going into like the late models and stuff like that on your weekly Saturday night racing, yeah, there really isn't much of a. I mean, yeah, you got to you got certain guidelines to follow, but there really isn't much after that. It's pretty almost wide open in some ways.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is just the broad spectrum of the rule book. You can run coil over car, which is a spring that's built into a shock. You can run what they call big spring setup, which is like what we run in Xfinity and Cup. You can run 3-link cars, perimeter cars, straight rail. There's so many different variations of car and everything. And then you got guys trying to give each other advice on cars that, well, this makes my car turn. Well, it's not really going to work on, and it just becomes, it's a little bit of a shit show, but I look forward to getting to the Cars Tour and some of these bigger races where the competition's a little more
Organized.
more. Yeah. And that's, again, I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody,
no,
but
definitely not. I agree.
I'm a little bitter. I've had 1 hour of sleep or so since we left the racetrack, and my wallet is getting smaller and smaller. So there may be a little bit of bitterness speaking.
And that's the thing too with the smaller teams. That's something that's very kind of like paid attention to, is because of the small teams, and that it can take so much out of you being like yourself with your own team and stuff like that. I've been there myself actually. It can take a quite big toll on you, and all it takes is one car to have it may not even be your fault, a mistake, and next now you got to put all kinds of stuff back into it. And I agree, I can understand where your frustration comes from. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and but hey, that's if it was easy, everybody would do it. So I'm very happy to be in the spot I'm in. Love where we've gone with the prospect program. Love what we got coming down the channel. Just like opportunities to be able to sponsor a great series like you guys. Is part of what makes this so much fun. And, getting to watch someone like Bobby go out there and just lay down championship after championship after championship.
Oh man, there goes his, there goes his head. Thanks, Brian.
But that's what it's all about. That's why we race. Whether it's a video game, whether it's real life, whether it was when you were a kid and you and your buddy wanted to see how fast you went down the hill. There's all different kinds of levels of competition. I'm never going to bash somebody for trying to compete. So I don't want it to seem like that's what I was doing, but it's just a long weekend.
So Puddin just put in the chat, only way to be a millionaire from racing is start out a billionaire.
Yes, 100%. True story. Very true story. Ask what was his name? Bobby Ginn owns, the biggest chain of resorts in the entire world. Man's got more money than Jesus himself, and he couldn't stand up to his car. So what's that tell you?
Right.
Well, it means it's just not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's a sponsor driven business, but Prospect is trying to change that. That's part of what we're doing with our driver development program. Is we're not just like all the other guys. I'm not looking at you and say, okay, Bobby, okay, Michael, I need you to bring me $20,000. And if you do, we're going to go. And when we're done racing, if you don't have another $20,000, I'm going to go find the next guy. I need guys. Our program brings guys in, and yes, they have to pay because we live in the real world, not fantasy land. They have to pay. But what our goal is to bring them in get them paying, get them to the racetrack. We have our own marketing team who actually markets our own drivers. That doesn't happen in driver development. No one else in the world is putting in time to sell drivers that are paying. It just doesn't happen because they don't care, because they know the next kid's waiting. My drivers learn business. They're going to learn the day-to-day of the racetrack as far as signing autographs, being around fans, getting to drivers' meetings, all these things that I've seen young drivers struggle with coming up through the ranks. I'm taking a step back, and I'm actually want this to be a program where guys learn and guys feel like when they leave my program, and I hope they never leave my program because hope we take them all the way to the top, that they've gotten something out of it, not just we got something out of them.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, you don't find an actual team that will take that kind of time and, and put into a driver. We lost Ryan.
No, he's still there.
I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, no, I just thought, there we are. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I wasn't quite sure. Sorry, guys. But you don't find that anymore. You don't find, I mean, back in the day, yeah, I mean, in the 90s, 80s, the teams did that. They actually worked, and try to help with the drivers and develop them and get them accustomed to being around, tons of people and do all the wonderful things that those drivers do. And they leave it to somebody else. But now you've got a team like yourself that willing to take a personal aspect in it and really work with them and not just show them the way, but actually give them something that they can rely on in the future, whether it hopefully, as I said, as you said, stay with you, or whatever, bigger and better things come along, whatever, but they have that experience and they have that knowledge, and it makes them a better individual in the end because you've done that. You've trained them, you've helped them, you've progressed their career. And that goes a long way in a lot of aspects too.
Yeah. So go ahead, Bobby.
All right. So I don't mean to cut you off, but I do have some questions. We do have, I have been asked by other people in the league, like, what's your favorite NASCAR track that you have been at so far? I know you've been to so many, but what's your favorite and what's your least favorite?
My least favorite? Oh man, Pocono. I hate Pocono with a passion. Martinsville. I hate Martinsville with a passion. The actual, I'm gonna be 100% honest. You all can write this down as God is my witness. The reason I stayed in Xfinity as long as I did, everyone always asks me that question. Why didn't you go cup racing? Why didn't you go truck racing? Xfinity didn't run Martinsville and Pocono. And that is why I always
that's one way of doing it.
Man, I love Dover. I love Darlington. Those two places, to watch someone drive around those places the correct way. To watch someone like a Matt DiBenedetto when he ran wide open there in a K&N car. And I was lucky enough to get to see that in person. Man, that's a special talent that gives a guy like me chills. Standing at the bottom of the banking at Dover, watching a car go by 160, 170 mile an hour, whatever the hell it is, falling off that hill. That's something you don't see anywhere else. I mean, and Bristol's obviously Bristol. Daytona's Daytona. They have their perks. But man, and then obviously I was born and raised in Southern Indiana. So to get to walk out the tunnel or walk out Gasoline Alley and onto pit road in Indianapolis was one of the coolest moments of my entire life.
Oh, I can imagine. That's going to be incredible.
I've actually walked through there.
It is
for Indy qualifying when Kurt Busch was there, and that was by far the coolest thing ever to walk out and you see Kurt Busch standing there with his Indy car, and all of a sudden you see this car just go flying by, and it's like, dude, these guys are going 234.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
you don't realize how small the front straightaway is there. So when you're standing next to the pit wall, those cars are going 234 mile an hour about 6 feet from you.
Right.
It is crazy.
It was awesome.
You see the car before you actually hear the sound.
Oh, yeah. Especially on the front stretch there. It's an echo that has kind of become legend because the way that place just carries itself with the sound and everything. I don't know, man. It's a really awesome.
It's a crown jewel.
It stinks that they took it away this next year.
Yeah,
they replaced it with the road course.
Yeah, I tell you what, I think NASCAR, you're going to see a lot more road racing in NASCAR, especially with the new car in the Cup Series. I mean, that thing's basically a V8 supercar. If you really look through everything and start putting two and two together, it's what it is. And I think that's the racing that NASCAR thinks everyone wants to see now. Which they're not wrong. We go to Mid Ohio, we go to Road America. There's hundreds of thousands of people at those races. You can't walk around without seeing wads and wads and wads of campers everywhere.
Yep.
And then you turn around and go to Kentucky or you go to Chicago and you can literally yell to the stand, "Hi, ma'am," and she waves back because she's the only one there. You know, it's the dynamic of what we know of NASCAR is going to change, and the old guard is going to say it's bad. But at the end of the day, if NASCAR wanted to survive, they had to quit trending for people that aren't going to, and this sounds terrible, but trending to people that aren't going to be with us very much longer.
Right.
And that's.
I mean, speaking of that road course, there, I mean, I would love to see them actually, because New Hampshire, we have in New Hampshire, we do have the road course as well.
Yes.
I would love to see that transfer. I mean, just one race. That's all, just to see how they could run that track, because that track's not an easy road course.
No, it's awesome. I'm with you 100%. I've been saying since they announced the Roval, however many years ago it's been now, please let's go to Loudon and do theirs, because that place is awesome. And to me, the racing at actual Loudon sucks.
Oh no, I mean the track itself, the oval part of that track was, I mean, it's struggled. I mean, it's been some good races, but it's struggled because for some reason that track just doesn't seem want to hold two lines. It's tough to pass. You can't pass there. It's awful. The track's great in itself. I mean, they've done a great job.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they just can't get that second groove in for them to be able to do what they need to do. And it's getting better. I mean, I'm going to say it's almost going to take a repave and everything else to be able to actually change the dynamics of what that track really is. But they run like the dwarf cars up there on the road course, stuff like that. I would like to see one of these Cup cars or Xfinity cars get around that course, because I've been on that course and I've seen it, and it's not. Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, there's hills, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So Ryan, we talked about obviously the incentive program and some other things. You have another announcement?
Yes. So along with all that, and just in our efforts to expand our marketing partners, because that's what people are. And this is another thing that's gotten lost in our sport. When someone does a sponsorship nowadays, I don't like calling it sponsorship. A sponsorship is not a good word. It means that I'm giving you money and I get nothing in return. Vice versa. So what I like to call it is marketing partners. And that's what we have become with you guys. And that's why for the rest of the year, after this one first race, which we have a little different sponsor package, we will be carrying you guys on the car every week for the what seems to probably end up going to be a lot more races than I want to admit right now. So that's going to be fun, and we will definitely be getting some pictures and stuff out there, some renderings even before we do the race.
Awesome.
And really, really exciting to see you guys. And we're going to move you around on the car. We're not just going to give you one home and glue you there all year. We're going to put you on the C post. We're going to put you on the quarter. We're going to put you down at the lower quarter. Hell, you might even get a hood once or twice. We'll see what we got going, but we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to, like I said, we're going to work some amazing incentive packages for everybody and keep having some fun, man. That's what it's all about.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Ryan.
I mean, that's appreciative. That's incredible.
No,
I'm actually shocked because I didn't even know about that. Now, usually I hear like little things here and there. The snare. I didn't even know. I have a clue about that one.
now you just got to let me come race with you once.
I already told you, man. Anytime.
Just say when, buddy. Just say when. I mean, we've actually had a couple of people that, yeah.
I told you, hop in. You can run a cup race with us.
Hell yeah, man, that'd be awesome.
You already know you like Dover. Come race the championship race.
Hell yeah, there you go. You might.
Races, yeah.
We got a busy week ahead of us.
That'd be cool. Yeah. We've had some. We've had other people.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yes.
January 26th.
There you go.
Yep, that will be the final lockdown of the season for us. Yep.
What do you
But that's-
what do you what are
Go
your
ahead, Bob.
thoughts on the Bristol dirt race?
Terrible idea. Terrible, terrible, terrible idea. I love it, but if no one remembers, and I guess this is the problem with history in this country in general. We forget history so quick. We did this. We did Bristol dirt. It didn't work. No one liked it. It was terrible racing. In the 2000s with the sprint car deal there, and it destroyed the racetrack. It took forever to get that dirt back out of the track when they were done.
Yep.
We fought it for a couple of years afterwards. It just not. Bristol is its own beast. You wouldn't take. They're never ever going to take the Kentucky Derby and turn it into a freaking Greyhound race.
Right.
Not saying dirt cars are Greyhounds. Don't go there. I already been on social media about bashing dirt racing one time when someone misunderstood me. All I'm saying is Bristol is its own beautiful animal. Leave it alone. Let it be. It is good racing. They don't wreck like they used to, but if that's all you're turning it on for, then turn it off anyways.
Right.
If you watch the race. It
Right.
is badass racing.
Now
I was
a
wondering
lot
about
of
that too. About that.
a lot of people have been
Go ahead,
asking.
Bobby.
Like we did talk a little bit about the road courses, but Steven just asked again, what about the road courses? What do you think about the road courses that they've added?
I love it. I love Daytona. It was a great time. It's very challenging. There's no forward drive. You cannot find forward drive on that racetrack, which is awesome because it makes the racing good. Indy, yeah, I'm partial to what the Brickyard is and what it means, but it's a good road course. I mean, it was
Right.
solid racing. Of course, the Roval. I think it's been a fun addition. It's cool to. There's a lot of cool, fun challenges when you go to places like that. It's not your standard road course setup.
I wish
And
they would have
then-
brought Mid Ohio in.
Yes, and that's Mid Ohio, man. That's a great road course. It's fun. It's technical. It's not built for stock cars, so it makes it even better. You know, but Circuit of the America is a great choice. To be honest with you, to me, that's the gym right now in America. If we want to connect back to the world, European road racing, the real crown jewels of motorsports worldwide, we need Circuit of the Americas to succeed because that is the only. And again, I don't want to sound mean because we have a lot of great road courses in this country, but that is the next step, the upper echelon, the F1 style racetrack that this country needs to succeed and get its name back in the worldwide motorsports talk.
Absolutely. So, Mike, it's 9:00. I don't want to hold Ryan up because he's a busy man.
No, I know.
So-
Yeah, he's got some stuff to do.
Do you have any other questions for him, Ryan? Do you got anything else for us?
Guys, I just want to thank you again for having me on. Thank you for letting me be part of this program. Thank you for adding me to the great list of sponsors that you guys already have. You guys have got a very impressive following, a very impressive thing you built, and it's just awesome to be part of it. Yeah, there
Bobby.
you go, man. I mean, you don't see that every day for guys that have worked as hard as you have. So that's awesome, and I just appreciate it.
Just one
And I-
question, Ryan. Oh, before
Yes,
you
sir.
bail, before Bobby, do you well, you obviously know the Oxford 250 in Maine, right? You obviously
Yes,
heard
sir.
of it. It's
Very
one of the crown jewels. You guys plan on maybe popping up in there and running that race?
We will not do that this year, but it is on my list for next year.
Awesome. I knew it was a crown jewel. I knew that is a big thing. It's not just a big thing for us up here, but it's a big thing for a lot of the late model guys around the country.
It's one of the biggest. Next year I want to run the Snowball Derby, the All American 400, the Oxford 250, and maybe throw in one of the Midwest crown jewels. I haven't decided yet, but definitely want to get up there and run those races.
Awesome. I was just wondering because I know you got big plans, and I was just wondering because I know it says that is one of the big late model tracks that a crown jewel for everybody. And I was just I know you're looking at it, so I was just curious.
Oh yeah, and of course let me throw out that I guess if anyone is looking for is in the market for a place to go race, we, unlike a lot of teams, will be going to Rocky. So we will field a car that we feel can take all the problems they're fighting there, and we are looking for a driver. So if you
Glad to hear that Rockingham is back, you know, up and around again, because that was actually, it's a pretty good track. I like that track.
Oh yeah, it's a challenge, and now the restrictor plates are going to make it. We'll see what happens.
Ooh. Yeah, right. Ooh.
Now, I can't tell y'all who our guest is next week. Not yet, because I don't know. Ryan's working on some surprises for us. We don't know if we can pull them off or not, but we're trying.
Oh yeah, we gonna get you hooked up with some cool ones. We got a lot of guys that are beating around the bush, ready to hop on here and give y'all something a little better than me to listen to Gab every week.
Well, I told Mike the two people that we possibly could have. Obviously, if it doesn't happen, then we'll figure something else out. But
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Mark my words.
He said, "No, it's gonna happen."
I like the enthusiasm, but Ryan, I thank you for everything you do. We're looking forward to working with you more. If you want to hop in and race with us, like I said, January 26th, we're going to be at Dover. It's the championship race. Obviously, I don't know if you're familiar with how we're going to do the playoffs or the final round, but tomorrow's Talladega. Then we go to Texas for the elimination race. When that elimination race is over, the top 4 drivers are going back down to being equal.
Nice.
All 4 drivers are going to be equal unless you win in the playoffs.
Okay.
So if a driver wins that's in the playoffs and they finish in the top 4, you get 5 bonus points for every win that you get. So like myself, Mike and I were just talking about this. Myself going into the cup race, if the playoffs would end right now and we'd go into Dover, I'd have 20 bonus points going into that race.
Hell yeah.
So it's going to be an exciting race. The truck series race is going to be it's going to be your best finisher is pretty much what it's going to be, because it's whoever gets the most amount of points, to be honest.
Nice.
So you'll have to tune in for championship weekend. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching wherever I am. I got a phone, thank God, so I can keep up, because if not, I'd be lost. I don't think I've actually looked at my TV in my house in about 2 weeks.
and like I said, guys, we'll let you know as soon as we hear something. Hopefully we hear something with.
I always said this. What would ever happen if we lost all this?
Right. I'm hoping within the next couple of days we can get let you guys know who our guest is for next week. Ryan, I know you've been busy and you've been working on it, so we'll see what we can do, and we'll let you guys know as soon as possible. But Ryan, we'll let you get back to do your thing, and you have a good night.
Sir. Yes, sir. You guys too. Thank you as always.
No problem.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, Mike. What'd you think?
That was awesome. That was good. I mean, that was really good to hear from Ryan. I mean, we've had some time with him in the booth, obviously, but just to hear, what he wants to do in the future and what he wants to do with us and everything else. I mean, it's great stuff. I mean, it's all great, because for them guys to actually take notice of all of us and in our league and the drivers and this and that, it's you can't put it into words, I guess you could say. It's just because of all the hard work that everybody's done is where we are now and why we're here now.
Right. What'd you think of the surprise that I didn't tell you?
I know. That's kind of funny. You do that sometimes to me, Bobby. You give me this little input, and then you don't say another word to me. No, you didn't tell me nothing on this one. That was a total surprise. That was awesome. I like surprises. It makes it.
Ryan and I've been talking about it. We've got everything kind of situated to where, like he said, we're going to be on the car for the rest of the season. So
that's awesome.
Him and I are going to work on it. Obviously, I'm going to see it. Knock on wood. Hopefully they don't crash the car. They get a win with that sponsor. But if they do crash it, I did say something about, hey, can I get a little piece of that?
I'll call it. Hey, just
Well-
don't mind me. I just want a little piece of that.
Well, no, I'm saying maybe we can get it signed.
Yeah.
And maybe do it as a giveaway, or
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. I mean, we
do
love
it
doing
as a
that stuff.
one, do it as a giveaway. Two, maybe maybe get a piece for myself, maybe
Yep.
you, to keep for
Yeah.
ourselves.
Oh yeah, oh no, definitely. I mean, this whole thing, Bobby, is that we want, even though we are in our positions that we love to give back to our drivers that have
Absolutely.
been with us for, some of them have been for years. Some, obviously we just added 7 new people to development. I mean, those drivers is why we are here today and doing what we're doing right at this point.
Right.
Because
So
of that
I'd like to thank all of our sponsors real quick before we get into the week in review. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the Bush series first. We're gonna go into the development series. We're gonna go into the truck series, and then Mike and I are gonna talk about the Cup series tomorrow night.
Oh, it's coming.
Talladega. Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So we got
that
Rich
actually just brought my hairs just stood on end when you talk about the Cup race, because we're there.
Yeah. So we've got Richmar Flores, Morgan Vans Racing Jason, Appalachian Howler Hunters, Milner Transport, B3 Ranch, Eldridge Skating, Wrecking Racing, Podcast, Peak, Penguin City Beer, Charlie Langenstein, Ryan Daily Designs, Fast Lap Podcast with Chrissy and Deb, Prospect Motorsports, which obviously you guys just heard from Ryan, the Lineup Barbershop, which is our main sponsor for the Week in Review, and then Seat Time Driving School, who gave us these awesome prizes for all of our series.
And I said, Bobby, that because it's almost, I mean, the guys were doing racing great, but as soon as that popped up and they heard about that, it just totally intensified the racing. It's been incredible for like 6 weeks right now of how the racing that we've been broadcasting for like 6 weeks. That they're working together, but yet they're still trying to get reach the same goals. I mean, sometimes we talk about that. Sometimes the broadcast that working together in the first part of the race is great, and then in the end, you figure it out in the end. Because that's basically what you almost what you need. We do it. We do it in the Cup Series. We try to work together as far as we can go, and then from there we figure it out in the end.
Absolutely. So, Mike, I'm gonna let you talk about the development series real quick. I will be right back. I have to go do something.
Yep. No, that's fine. I just gotta give me 1 second so I can pull up the information on the development series at this point. Let me just see if I can, because I didn't quite get it all written down oh, there we go. So guys, the development series, this week we're at Dega. It was a Dega week, basically, for most of all the series. Points are, so we had 7 new development drivers enter this week at Dega. So that was really exciting to have new members come in and new people race with the other veterans that are in that series that have been there for a little while. And it was an incredible race to call. Actually, me and Bobby were in that race, and it was incredible. It was the teamwork, the effort, and to be able to combine 7 new drivers with 10, 12, veterans that have been in the league that have been trying to work their way back up into the series. I couldn't have asked for a better result. But right now, everyone, the points are, they're close. They're not that far. You've got Hoosier with 429. Then you have the General with 301. You have the Closer with 296. You have Pro Jade with 266. You have JTC with 263. Tony with 216. Huey with 179. D's with 159. Dash with 132. You have Miss Jaguar with 109. You have I'll call him Corey because I can't quite pronounce that name. He's at 100. You got Firefighter at 98. You got Sailing Dreams at 72. You got AJ at 53. And it goes on further on down. Those guys are a little bit further out. They got some work to do. To get up, try to get themselves. There's still a lot of racing left in the development series. They got time. They do have a little bit of time, but it's going to come down to how hard they're going to have to work for it, because it's not going to be. But other than that, I mean, with the development, I said that's where the development sits right now. I mean, they're great guys. They're newcomers coming to the league. They're learning. Some of these guys. I mean, some of these guys, folks, they've never been in Discord before. They've never communicated before like we do. During our races, they're new with their some have gotten steering wheels that they've never been on. They're working settings. They're working this. That's what development is all about. Is to get even though development isn't about your experience, it's about helping each other to develop your skills to be able to run in the Busch series, in our Cup series, in our Truck series, because it takes some of those guys in those upper series are really they're really good and they're really adamant about things, and of course, I mean, I would be too. It's the upper series, but other than that, well, that's where the development sits, buddy.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the surprise guest, per se, that we had in Busch. We brought up a rookie. His name's Steven.
Oh,
he
God.
drives the number 18, shows up, and literally puts on a clinic. Wins his first race. Locks himself into the playoffs. Like,
Graduates
crazy.
development.
Right, he graduates from development to be able to do this, and it's awesome.
And he worked for it too. I mean, he's been running in development for a little while now, Bobby. And he's been patient. He's worked for it. He got the opportunity was given to him. He took it, and he took it for the full advantage, because sometimes you have to. I mean, you're given an opportunity like that to get up into the upper series. You want to do the best that you can, and he took full advantage of that opportunity, and it turned out he had pay dirt with it. He definitely scored big with that one, and that's and I'm so proud of him, because I am also the development. I'm proud of him for all the work they did. I'm proud of all the guys, because their opportunities are coming.
Right, and I'm actually looking at the points right now. So the Busch series is Kyle with 387, Ronald with 362, Miz at 361, Dave at 299, Dunk at 287, Hoosier at 282, sorry. Brian at 281, Josh at 281, George at 278, Zach, which is Loho, at 243. You got Ron at 198, Hawk at 185. Then you have Josh at 164. And then it's a tie battle from there. It's Chase, Hard Driver, Billy, and Memphis at 161. Trevor at 114. Wow. My bad. Trevor is actually at 130. That was a mistake. Then you have General at 129, Ed at 128, AJ at 128, and Steven, who first race, because we had a sub fill in for the 18 the week before, he's got 127 points. So he keeps racing. He's going to be able to get up into that top 12 real quick.
Yep, and that's yeah, and he's all excited. I've talked to him a couple of times off and on here and there, and he's so excited for the opportunity that he was given, and he's taking full advantage of it, and he's definitely one of the future prospect that we've brought in for this league, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see what he does more from here.
Absolutely. And I'm going to do the truck points real quick, because I'm going to let you talk about Cup, because obviously I don't like talking about the Cup series.
I know.
With it being the one series I do race.
I know.
So
I understand.
We're just going to do the top 12 for trucks, because there's 33 entries right now.
Wow. That's a big deal.
Trucks. Yeah. Here, if you guys don't, there's the screen right there.
Yeah.
That's all trucks.
Yeah, it's huge.
So, all right. So we've got Ron racing at 232, Kyle at 2225, Loho at 2219, Robbie at 2212, Memphis at 2200, Dave at 2197, Ronald at 2168, Billy at 2152, Miz at 1167, Josh at 1160, Brian at 1149, and Hoosier at 1124. And like I said, guys, I know people are saying, okay, it's over, it's done with, we ain't gonna make it into the Final Four. Guys, I'm telling you right now, Memphis, Dave, Ronald, you guys have a shot at this. Honestly.
Yeah, it's not over, guys. Yes, definitely not over.
These guys could have a bad race, and all of a sudden they fall out. You guys go in. I mean, Memphis is 12 points back, and then all of a sudden it resets. Everybody's tied going into the final race.
Yep, and then from there on, it's win or go home at that point. Well, or their best show can go home, and it's going to
Well,
be
I mean, it's
not the
literally
best part.
get the most amount of points.
Yep. And then that will definitely make for an interesting race, because of when you're all sitting in that position, I mean, yeah, you might push a little bit harder to, because of that situation. And,
Right.
and that's good. That's not a bad thing, but, it's just also, you got to be careful. You got that catch-22 kind of deal.
All right.
That series there is tight. It's not over for any one of those guys, and all it's going to take, it could take, a lag out or an issue or whatever, or versus sleep in or whatever, you miss the race because, whatever. And next, the whole thing flips the whole dynamic of the whole situation.
Right. So, Mike, let's talk about the Cup race last week, since we didn't really talk about it yet.
Oh God, the Cup race last week. That was a road course. That was Canadian Tire, huh? I remember that. No, that race there, that was a great race. Bobby, you did a great job. I mean, you are definitely a road course, specialist. There's no doubt about that. You have been for years. Everybody's great job. That track is not easy because there's a lot of throttle control, a lot of working in this and that, some of those corners, But on that, the race was great. But what it did, that race, is it definitely changed some things in the point standings coming into.
Oh yeah, you got Miz, who was set in third, went clear back down to 7th.
Yep. I mean, I have him sitting right here, and I'm looking at him like, really, because you think about it, I'm sitting in the 4th spot, 22 points out, and we have 2 races left in the Cups, besides Dega.
We have Talladega tomorrow, and then we go to Texas.
Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. All right. So I mean, it's not the top 4. 5 going into Dega, 6 maybe. That's gonna be the determination of what really happens in our Cup Series and who's gonna.
I mean, to be honest, Miz still has a shot at it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I was thinking that too when I was just looking at him, like, really, the top at this point, from what I'm seeing now, at least the top 6. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, yeah, you're definitely beyond. That's a level that a lot of us aren't looking at, because of it is such a high level, and we probably will not get there because of the
like I said,
Yep.
It's not over, guys, because once we get past Texas, everybody goes,
yep,
and we're back at it.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely know it's not over. I'm not giving up yet. It's not over yet.
The only difference is in the Cup Series is I have 4 wins already, so I'm able to have those 20 extra bonus points so far to be able to be 20 points ahead of everybody else going into Dover.
And that's what's going to matter. It's not going to be the bonus points at this point in time. It's going to be these stage points going into this race, for our Cup Series. No, that's what's going to make the difference on who's going to end up in those 4 spot, in those final 4 going into the championship race. And everybody's hungry. Everybody wants what's being offered. Everybody wants part of that, and it's it adds for a level of competition that I haven't seen in a little while with everybody of wanting to be here, race, give good shows, work together, and end up getting that goose, that golden egg at the end of the rainbow, and that is that driving school experience that's being offered.
Right. So, Mike, let's talk about the Cup Series points real quick.
You got it, buddy. Pop my phone. All right. So the Cup Series, as of right now, we're leaving Canadian Tire going into Talladega. Bobby, you have at 22.95, which is sitting right definitely top of the points. You have Dave right behind him with 21.77. You got Brian with 21.75. Then you have myself at 21.55. You have Ronald at 21.53. Then you have Josh at 21.47. Then you have Miz at 21.37. Billy at 20.52. Dunk at 10.51. Ron at 10.51. Jacob and Alex both at 1,000. That's a tight field. I mean, that's not. I mean, you can't. You got to make sure that when this race comes into Dega, you do your job. That's the best way I can say it, because I know that's what I got to do. Because if I have 3 people sitting right behind me that can easily take over that 4th spot on me with a blink of an eye. Because points are so close.
Sorry.
No, at that point, I mean,
I'm watching the Alabama OSU game, and right now
that's fine. I'm like, Bobby's watching something. But no, I mean, guys, the Cup race tomorrow night.
It's going back and forth. It's 21-14, and this game just keeps back and forth. One scores, the other one scores.
Yeah. I mean, as far as guys, please, tune in tomorrow for that cup race because of it. It's at Dega. It's going to be something wild because of that spot, though. That race there could determine the outcome of a lot of people's situation and where they're going to end up going into the final races. We'll see, Bobby.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready for it.
Like I said, I'm super excited. Obviously, a lot of people are anxious about Dega, and I'm anxious about Texas. Obviously, I know I'm locked into the Final Four already, so I'm looking for. At this point, my eyes are at Dover.
Right, which I could see where you would be, because I mean I'd be focused. I mean, you're sitting where you are and you're in a good spot. I mean, I would be doing the same thing. I'd be focusing on something, not necessarily you're locked in, you're going. I would be looking at that final race to make sure that I secure myself into that, looking good going into it. But the rest of those guys, that Dega race, it's going to be real interesting because I said it's tight. We'll see where it all goes. I mean, I know that, the patience at the end of it may be a little bit, may not be there because of the factors of what's at stake. And that's a lot. That's a lot. That's an opportunity. It could make or break your opportunity for that Final Four.
Right. And obviously you guys know I'm going to try to go out and capitalize and get myself another win and lock myself in to that Hall of Fame level, as Charlie Langenstein says.
And I mean, you've had an incredible year. Like, you can't take that away from ever.
15 wins on a season, incredible. I can't, obviously, you guys don't know this and all, but I got to thank FTI for everything they do. Starcom, obviously. The car has been phenomenal. Charlie Langenstein, Wrench Twister 00. We've got Ryan Daly Designs, obviously. Ryan Bell. Those guys are huge assets to everything that goes in. If I have a question, I literally can call them guys at any point in time and say, hey, we're going to Dega. I have some questions. What can I do? And they always throw it out there and kind of give me some ideas to what I can do to make things better. Obviously, you've seen it yourself.
No. Listen, trust me, Bobby. I've worked with you many times on occasions when, and on certain things I've struggled with racing and stuff like that. And believe me, when I first came in here, if you remember it, Bobby, I was lucky if I was the top 15 car. Now look at where I'm at after a year of working, with everybody this and that. I'm a top 10 car. It's working up further than that because of, and I'm grateful for all that.
Like I said, guys, Mike's a prime example of that. Mike was never fast. Mike was always towards the back of the field. I took a lot of time into helping him get faster. I did everything I could. He kind of picked up pointers I gave him. We're always willing to help the next person.
All right, well, that's what it's about. That's what me and you are about. That's what a lot of our other, our veterans are. They have no problem getting into a practice lobby, working with the guys if they're struggling, because in the end, what that's going to do is make the racing all more incredible, because now you can, now everybody's almost like, it almost puts on a same level,
right,
with everybody. You work with somebody, you bring them to your level, or help try to bring them to your level, and next, now you're even, and now you're racing
absolutely
together. And it makes a race for incredible results and incredible, race that we broadcast. I'm definitely looking. I mean, I'm so excited about actually tomorrow night, Bobby, actually, because of the run that I had in development. I'm actually, I know that if I do what I got to do, hit my marks, run my stuff, this could be a real good deal in the end of this.
Shake and bake, Cal. You're my best friend.
That's it, man. Well, I mean, we worked. I mean, when you brought me up, and when I came back to the league, because of it's kind of funny with those giveaways, guys. Trust me, if those giveaways pop up, I'm a prime example, because I did not have NASCAR Heat 5, and Bobby's like, let's go.
Either, guys.
No, that's right, true, yeah. So 2 years in a row with the 2 different heats, I managed to end up. Wasn't the first time because it was close to the first drawing. The second drawing, I ended up winning, which was great because it only put me 2 weeks behind you guys. So I jumped right in with everybody and started racing, which was awesome. It worked out. I got lucky.
Yeah, we had like 400 entries that when we did a random they'll put everybody's name in a wheel, push the button, and it pulled it. We pulled Mike's name, and I mean Mike was
the first
Mike
drawing
was-
number, but it was only like by one.
Yeah.
So
So
I mean, but
overall-
I said, these guys, this league. Oh God, Bobby.
No, you're good. Overall, we've had a great time with everything. We're looking forward to the, obviously you guys heard it from to Marcus that we were going to do giveaways once fans were allowed back in the races. We've been told that we're going to do surprises for you guys, obviously, of the giveaways for the driving schools, and now Ryan throws it out there and says that we're gonna do incentives, and Mike and I need to sit down with him and come up with these incentives, and then turns around and he tells us that our sponsor or pro is going to be on a race car for the rest of the season. How cool is that?
Not just on that race car, Bobby. It's Speed 51, because all those races that like Ryan runs, stuff like that, those are all broadcasted on TV. And that's gonna be, I can't wait. I'm actually gonna subscribe to 51 so I can actually watch and see that, because that's gonna be kind of neat to see actually our league name on that.
I gotta find out how much that is, because I think I want to get a hold of it too.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be really just to see our league on someone's car. It's because we kind of touched base on this, earlier last year, something like that. We were talking about stuff and trying to figure out, and it didn't quite work out the way we wanted it to at that time. And then this pops up, and I cannot wait to see our name on that. That's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Just to have us out there.
So, all right, guys, it's 9:30. Mike, it was nice having you in here.
Yep.
Obviously,
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it.
We'll see you next week with our special guest.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Once we find out which one it is, then we'll make the announcement. Well, like I said, we're super excited about either one. I know Mike and I both been kind of like hee, so
yeah, we get the hee, but not now. Yeah. We don't go any further than hee. We professionalism. We're all the same people. We're all people, and that's the way. It's tough, guys. It's really tough. I mean, me and you both know it. That when you see someone that like when I met, when I ran into Jeff and Kurt and all them guys up at Loudon when I was, was on the pit road and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, of course, yeah. Oh, yeah. You get that excitement, that adrenaline rush, but that you still got to put yourself into a checkpoint where, and which, it's everybody. It's not just like it's a, uncommon, because it's pretty common. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Well, with that being said, tune in tomorrow. 8:30 Eastern. We're gonna have Jade and Tony or Dash in the booth with us, broadcasting this race at Dega. It's gonna be a good race, so we will see you guys tomorrow, and tune in for the rest of the week. You guys won't be disappointed. We'll talk to you later.